Imagine a diverse classroom, each student unique in their learning style. This vivid landscape of diverse minds brims with a multitude of thoughts, experiences, and viewpoints, creating a vibrant yet complex environment for teachers. It's crucial to understand that diversity in education isn't solely about race, ethnicity, or gender. It also encapsulates the plethora of ways students consume, comprehend, and utilize information. Some students are visual learners relishing images and diagrams, while others find solace in the rhythm of words, making them verbal learners. There are those who prefer structured, logical processes, while some flourish in the pandemonium of creativity and spontaneity. Teachers in this varied learning environment shoulder the colossal task of customizing their teaching techniques to cater to diverse student needs. They resemble chefs, endeavoring to concoct a single dish that pleases a room full of different palates. This task is arduous, but the rewards are substantial. When educators successfully traverse this intricate landscape, the outcome is a thriving, dynamic learning environment where each student gets an opportunity to a classroom, leverages individual strengths, confronts weaknesses, and maximizes everyone's learning potential. Recognizing different teaching and learning strategies is imperative in this pursuit. It's like having a well-equipped toolbox, with each tool crafted for a specific task. Knowing when to use which tool constitutes the art science of teaching. In this increasingly diverse world, adopting different learning styles is vitally important. As we venture further into the territory of diverse learning strategies, we'll discuss the traditional, modern, and blended approaches. Each has its unique strengths and hurdles. Grasping these strategies not only helps us be more effective educators, but also enhances our learning capabilities, communication skills, and ultimately, our contribution to the global knowledge tapestry. Understanding different teaching and learning approaches is crucial in this endeavor. It's akin to having a toolbox, each tool designed for a specific task. Some tools may work better for certain tasks, while others may be more effective for different ones. Knowing when to use which tool is the art and science of teaching. In a world that's becoming increasingly diverse, the ability to accommodate different learning styles has never been more important. Understanding these approaches doesn't just make us better educators, but also better learners, better communicators, and ultimately better contributors to the global tapestry of knowledge and understanding. First off, let's take a look at the traditional approach to teaching and learning. We'll delve into the legacy methods like audiolingual, grammar translation, and also the direct approach. In this conventional style, the learning ambience is predominantly led by the teacher. The instructor is the key source of knowledge, and it's the student's responsibility to passively ingest this knowledge. You'll typically find the teacher at the head of the room delivering a lecture, while students are arranged rows, attentively listening and jotting down notes. The power dynamics are quite clear in this scenario, with the teacher as the one wielding authority and students playing a more subservient role. This style of teaching relies heavily on rote memorization. Herein, students frequently asked to remember and reproduce a plethora of data, including facts, dates, formulas, and definitions. The primary focus is on absorbing, storing, and recalling information, usually for the purpose of clearing standardized tests. These tests form a significant part of the traditional approach. They are structured to gauge a student's grasp of the curriculum. All students take the same test in identical conditions. The results are then used to rank students and evaluate the efficiency of teaching. Now, one cannot deny the traditional approach's strengths. It offers a structured learning environment, beneficial for those who like routine and predictability. Plus, it ensures every student learns the same material, helping to maintain academic standards. However, it's not without its flaws, the most significant being its rigidity and lack of adaptability to meet individual students' needs or interests. The traditional approach tends to favor conformity over creativity, potentially stifling a student's genuine curiosity and passion for knowledge. Moreover, it's not particularly adept at catering to diverse learning styles. A student's learning style can be different, visual, kinesthetic, or through discourse and interaction. The traditional method often neglects this aspect. While the traditional approach has its merits, it may not cater to the diverse learning styles of all students. Imagine a different scene, a classroom where learning is student-centered and collaborative. Welcome to the contemporary pedagogical paradigm, a teaching methodology that continues to gain momentum in the current educational world. This modern approach, as opposed to the traditional teacher-driven model, places the student at the center of the educational journey. Students are not just passive receivers of knowledge, but active contributors to their learning. They are deeply involved in critical thinking, tackling problems and making their own decisions. A standout characteristic of this modern approach is the significance it places on collaboration. Students are not just encouraged, but expected to work in synergy, sharing insights and learning from one another. This is instrumental in fostering a sense of community in the classroom, and more importantly, it equips students with teamwork and cooperation skills necessary for real-world challenges. In the modern approach, technology is not a mere tool but an integral part of the learning process. The incorporation of digital resources and online platforms render learning flexible and readily available. Interactive software and virtual classrooms not only make education fun and engaging, but break down geographical barriers, pushing the boundaries of traditional learning. However, the modern approach has its own set of challenges. The flexibility it provides may lead to a lack of structure, posing difficulties for some learners to stay on track and organized. Moreover, the extensive reliance on technology can be a double-edged sword. While it undeniably enhances learning, it can exacerbate the digital divide among students with varying levels of technology accessibility. Despite these challenges, the modern approach has been instrumental in reshaping the education landscape. Its emphasis on student-centric learning, collaboration, and technology has made education more interactive, engaging, and attainable. However, the fallacy that one size fits all doesn't apply here. The modern approach, despite being inclusive, may not necessarily cater to all students. Every learner is unique with different needs, capabilities, and learning styles. What may work for one learner may not necessarily work for the modern approach aims to cater to diverse learning styles, but it may not be effective for all students. What if we could combine the best of both worlds? Enter the blended approach. This approach is a fusion of traditional and contemporary teaching methods, leveraging the strengths of both into a dynamic and adaptable learning environment. Let's explore what this blended approach entails. Essentially, it's the structured personal interaction of conventional education with the elasticity and technological integration of updated methods. Imagine the best of both worlds, particularly in the sphere of education. A key feature of this approach is flexibility. It empowers learners to study at their pace, accessible anytime, anywhere. This becomes a significant advantage for students juggling different commitments or those who function optimally during specific times of the day. Individualization is another. With a blended approach, education is customized to meet each learner's distinctive needs. It considers varying learning styles, comprehension levels, and even personal interests. The teacher morphs from a one-size-fits-all educator to a guide who can tailor the learning path for each student. This approach also upholds a degree of structure and personal interaction, integral elements of the traditional approach. This equilibrium ensures that learners do not feel detached in their academic journey, and they have the chance to collaborate and participate in erudite discussions. Nonetheless, the blended approach is not without its complexities. Thorough planning is required to ensure a flawless integration of conventional and modern elements. Achieving the right balance is pivotal. Overemphasis on one method could result in an imbalance, potentially negating the very advantages of a blended approach. Essentially, this method is about striking the perfect harmony between tradition and innovation, regimentation and flexibility, individualization and collaboration. It's about shaping a learning environment that accommodates varied learning styles and paces, and equipping learners with the necessary skills for the present century. The blended approach offers a potentially effective way to cater to diverse learning styles. It's not merely about teaching, it's about nurturing a lifelong passion for learning. So, we've explored different teaching and learning techniques. However, the question remains, how can you apply this knowledge? Let's delve into some detailed suggestions to help you address this query. Primarily, you should contemplate your individual learning style. Are you someone who comprehends better through visual aids like diagrams and charts, making you a visual learner? Or do you resonate more with lectures and discussions, indicating you're an auditory learner? Or you might be a kinesthetic learner, someone who thrives with a practical, hands-on approach. Understanding and identifying your unique learning style is the most crucial initial step towards applying these diverse teaching and learning approaches to your personal studies. Once you've identified your learning style, the next step is to consider the different learning approaches we've discussed earlier, the traditional, modern, and blended approaches. The traditional approach, typically characterized by lectures and textbook readings, could be an ideal fit for auditory and reading-writing learners. Conversely, the modern approach, which incorporates technology and interactive media, might appeal more to visual and kinesthetic learners. For those seeking a more balanced approach, we have the blended learning method. This approach amalgamates the best features of both traditional and modern methods, providing a comprehensive and varied learning experience. After identifying your learning style and understanding the diverse approaches, it's time for some practical application. Experiment with these techniques in your studies. For instance, if you're studying a complex subject, you could start with a traditional approach, using textbook readings and lectures as your primary resources. Then transition to a modern approach, utilizing online resources and interactive media to enhance and deepen your understanding. Can then integrate the two approaches, discussing the topic in a study group, writing a blog post about it, or creating a mind map. Don't hesitate to blend these approaches and tailor them according to your needs. The ultimate aim is to design a personalized learning experience that aligns with your distinct requirements and preferences. After experimenting with the different techniques, it's essential to take some time to reflect. Evaluate what worked for you and what didn't, and leverage this reflection to fine-tune your learning strategy, making necessary adjustments. Remember, understanding diverse teaching and learning approaches can empower you to take charge of your own education. So go forth and apply this knowledge in your studies.